Good evening and welcome to the Conservation Commission of July 17th. On behalf of George Andrews, the chair, who is with us via Zoom, it is 6:30. First item on the agenda is the review of minutes from last meeting, 5/15/23.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second the motion.
I agree.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 That's 6:30. Very good. Next item on the agenda is a COC request by 307 Otter River Road, file number 3040361. With them. This is the newly constructed house on Otter River Road.
I'll make a motion to.
Hearing none, how do you vote, Dave?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Passes. I'm gonna pass down the COC if you guys sign, and then George, I'll get your signature this week.
Yes, I'll stop by and we'll give you a whole bunch of them.
Very good. Okay. I'll take all the. Yep, that too. Yep. Yep. Very good. Next on the agenda is NOI for 91 Walnut Street, 6-04-95 for improvements to Graves Pond Dam, set to impact inland resource areas within a bank and riverfront area. To open the meeting, I will read the legal notice and hand you the notice of intent. One for you, one for you. And give the one. Perfect. Thank you. Walnut Street 6-04-95 Graves Pond Dam Notice of Intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Trevor Fletcher of Graz Engineering LLC on behalf of John Fletcher of 91 Walnut Street, Templeton. Project location is Walnut Street, map 6-0, parcel 95, Graves Pond Dam. Description of project is dam improvement of the spillway and side slopes to bring into DCR compliance. The proposed alteration is set to impact inland resource areas within a bank and riverfront area. The hearing will be held on July 17th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Development Service Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The NOI is also available upon request from J. Case at templetonma.gov. George Andrews, Chair of Templeton Conservation Commission. And with us this evening, we have Trevor Fletcher of Graz Engineering representing the project.
Yes, and so what we have here is a dam that is holding back a Graves Pond, which is a small pond that is basically just for personal use of one residence in Baldwinville. And it was built back in the 70s, and since then it's been pretty well maintained. The side slopes of the spillway channel have kind of started collapsing a little bit, and there's larger rocks that are starting to fall into the channel. And because the dam is over 6 feet tall on the downstream side, DCR took inventory of it and started requesting inspection and maintenance. And because of the vegetation, small, like some trees within 20 feet of the abutment, and the lack of appropriate riprap on the upstream and downstream side slopes, it was rated as poor condition. which requires more regular inspections. So the purpose of this plan is to get the spillway into DCR compliance and upgrade the status of it to a good condition rating. That way it will be, a better outlet, and it will be less frequently inspected or necessarily inspected. So what that will consist of is there's some brush growing up, some quite a few small saplings that need to be cut, which probably can just be done with some shears. But then there's like 4 or 5 kind of larger saplings, I think they're all under 4 inches in diameter. Those will have to be removed. And then there's some stumps that will also have to be removed. And in that process, the rock that has fallen down into the channel will be scooped out and brought up. And the side slopes will be brought to a 3-to-1 slope. And then riprap will be installed on the side slopes and on the upstream side slopes as well. And following the work, another inspection will be due on the project, and we'll do that, and we'll submit it to the DCR and the commission if they feel it necessary. And yeah, I can take any questions anybody has about the work. And
What size riprap?
we were looking for like 6-inch, 4 to 6 inch riprap, something like that.
4, 6?
Yeah.
What taper is that?
3-to-1,
3
3-to-1 slope. Yeah, it's typical grading slope for stabilization.
I take it you got this email from
Oh, yes.
DEP.
Yes, so DEP's concern with that was the effect on, because traditionally in the fall, the caretaker takes a board out of the dam to lower it before winter, which is traditional for lakes. And it was brought to the attention of the caretaker that doing so will affect land underwater. So prior to that being done, it should be under order conditions prior to that for that to happen. So basically I talked to the caretaker, and he said it's only an 8-inch lowering, so it's not going to affect it much in the winter. So that practice is not going to be occurring anymore, and it won't be occurring for this construction. So that should be address her concerns.
Mr. Andrews, do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Shall we open up to abutters?
Yeah.
Are there any abutters here that have any questions regarding this NOI for Graves Pond Dam?
Are there any comments on YouTube? Then I will make a motion to accept this NOI and write an order of conditions.
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Andrews, how do you vote?
Okay,
Amanda?
Aye.
David?
Aye.
38, very good. I'm gonna pass these to you. Good. So Trevor, Mr. Andrews is not present, so I'll have to acquire his signature, and then
Okay.
I will reach out to you.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Very, very well. Thank you. How are we doing? We doing okay? Yeah, very good. Okay, the next one is for an NOI for Crotty Ave 3-3.1-31 pump station for demo of existing pump station and construction of upgraded pump station within 100-foot buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland and 200 feet of riverfront area. File number assigned 3040382. Peter.
Were there any comments from DEP on this?
To open up the hearing, I'll read the legal notice. Crotty Ave 1-3.1-31 pump station upgrade notice of intent. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a notice of intent filed by Karen Environmental Consulting LLC on behalf of the Town of Templeton Sewer Department. Project location is Crotty Ave, map 1-3.1, parcel 31, also known as the State Road Pump Station. Description of project is the demolition of an existing pump station house and construction of a new pump station. The proposed alteration is located within the 100-foot buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland and the 200-foot riverfront area of a stream. The hearing will be held on July 17th, 2023 at 6:30 PM at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The notice of intent is available for public review at the Development Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The NOI is also available upon request from jcase@templetonma.gov, George Andrews Chair, Templeton Conservation Commission. And on behalf of the applicants, they have sent a statement that they wanted me to read to you all, which says, it's from Chuck Karen of Karen Environmental Consulting, who says, on behalf of the applicant, I hereby formally request that the hearing for Crotty Ave Pump Station, NOI file number 3040382, be continued to the August 2023 meeting, as I am unable to attend the hearing today, July 17th. The hearing should be opened on the 17th, but then continued to the August meeting. We also didn't have a site walk here, so that would give you time to have a site walk.
I make a motion that we move it to next month.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
The motion should read continue. Next, yeah.
George, okay to continue to next month's meeting?
Yes, it is. Oh, you didn't hear me, all right.
Hearing no discussion, we will vote. Roll call. George, how do you vote? To
Yes,
Amanda?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
So we will continue this hearing in August,
Do you know when they plan on scheduling construction? Are we delaying them? at all?
last week of this month.
Did you say this was continued then?
Continue to next meeting. The applicant is not here.
What is the date on that?
August 21st.
August 21st?
Yes. At 6:30.
When were they planning the work there?
The work cannot continue without the board's approval.
So, I have no idea. I just have to own the land all around it.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to find out.
Yeah.
And I have been told.
Yep.
That I can't use that road anymore.
No, River Street.
Yeah.
That's still a town road. You can use
It's
it.
still a town road?
Yep. Yep.
That's interesting, because I own all the river frontage. So, this is gonna come to a head really soon. Thank you.
Very welcome. Anything else before I move on to the next topic? I just want to make sure you had your concerns addressed. Good? Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Next topic is RDA for Maple Street Neighborhood Water Main. Amanda? So this is RDA for Maple Street Neighborhood Water Main Project for water main replacement and roadway improvements within the limits of bordering lamps, the BLSF, the 200-foot river.
Subject to flooding,
Say that again.
subject to flooding.
Bordering land subject to flooding, the 200-foot riverfront area, and the 100-foot buffer zone of wetland. You know, I knew it all when I wrote it, and then I just, thank you. So to open the hearing, I'll read the legal notice. Maple Street Neighborhood Water Main Project Request for Determination of Applicability. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, that a public hearing will be held on a request for determination of applicability filed by Teague and Bond, Inc. on behalf of the Templeton Municipal Light and Water Plant, Town of Templeton. Project location is Maple Street, King Philip Trail, School Street, Vernon Street, and Baldwinville Road. Description of project is water main replacement and roadway improvements within the limits of bordering lands subject to flooding, the 200-foot riverfront area of the Otter River, and the 100-foot buffer zone to DEP wetland. The hearing will be held on July 17th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. at Templeton Town Hall. Any person wishing to be heard concerning the above application should appear at the time and place indicated above. The request for determination of applicability is available for public review at the Development Services Office, Room 3, 160 Patriots Road during regular office hours. The RDA is also available upon request from J. Case at templetonma.gov. George Andrews, Chair, Templeton Conservation Commission. And with us, we have Alex from Teague and Bond.
I'm Alex from Time Bond. Thanks for having me tonight. So on behalf of Municipal Light and Water and the town of Templeton, we have a project that's occurring on Maple Street primarily, and then as Jessica already said, also it's on Baldwinville Road, School Street, Cottage, and Vernon. It's kind of a culmination of two different aspects of a project. It's primarily a water main project occurring on Maple Street, and that's why we're here today in terms of Conservation Commission and what you're concerned with. There's new water main, or sorry, a replacement water main that's going in on Maple Street between Grove and School, primarily within the sidewalk. It is a Mass DOT owned roadway, so the idea of keeping it in the sidewalk is that the impacts are much less severe to the roadway itself, both for rideability, keeping that intact, and also dollars. That definitely adds up when you're trying to comply with Mass DOT's requirements for the roadway. So that's the idea there. Also, School Street, Cottage, and Vernon, those are going to be either full depth or roadway reclamation. So you're going to end up with a gravel surface at some point, with new pavement going in. There's new water main on Baldwinville Road as well. School Street, new water main, Vernon Street, new water main. Those are primarily going to be funded by a CDBG program block grant that's being requested by the town currently. In addition to that, we're updating the drainage system within the School Street and Cottage Street neighborhood area. So in terms of the work itself, on Maple Street, the work is going to be limited to trenching primarily, and that's going to be for the new water main install, again, within the sidewalk, limiting ourselves to the trench itself, and then also going across the street. Some trenchless technology might be used to limit the actual impact to the roadway. Some trenching is going to be required as well, again, in an effort to reduce the amount of impact to the Mass DOT roadway. So in terms of that, we're going to be installing erosion control barriers within the limits of the 100-foot buffer zone, the 200-foot riverfront, and BLSF. Anywhere that we're going to be trenching on Maple Street, we'll install that, and then silt sacks will be installed where necessary. So again, within the limits of work, and then if there happens to be an area downhill from the work zone itself, that would be also added with a silt sack. So yeah, again, the primary reason is that we're within the 100, 200 foot and BLSF on Maple Street. Cottage and Vernon don't have any impact there. So I guess I'll open that up to questions or anything that you want to hear.
Well, we walked it.
Right, we asked all our questions.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
and, I think he pointed out the erosion controls, which is what we were going to say.
Okay.
Especially along the Otter River. Right. Also might be important to point out why this is an RDA and not an NOI. That under the Wetlands Protection Act, maintaining, repairing or replacing, but not substantially changing or enlarging services, public services like electric, gas, and water and sewer are considered minimal impacts and thus only need an RDA or exempt. So that was our first question, why it wasn't, why it wasn't an NOI. And, So thought it might be important to
Let the public.
let the public know that's why the town filed a RDA, not an.
Correct, yes, thank you.
Yes,
Mr. Andrews, do you have any questions?
yeah. Yeah, I just want to know, has anybody gone down the end of Maple Street since they opened the dam? See how far that water's come out Maple Street? When they go to, where the dam is open, that whole ball field fills out in the front. So somebody needs to make sure that they put siltation up at the end of Maple Street down there, if the water has come out that far.
When
Oh,
they close Birch Hill Dam and they hold back
Mm.
water,
mm,
it can flood all the way up to the ball field. Is it that high yet? It's not that high yet, George.
I was down
Oh, it's not that high yet, okay. Because I know they've closed Denison
They
to
did.
further notice.
Yeah, Denison is not even flooded. I was just down there too. Yeah, it is. It
Okay.
is. Bathrooms.
so important
Just
not to
something to watch. that's all.
tandem with that then. Is that George's point? Not to do these projects in tandem?
I think
Is
it's
that
just to keep an eye out
Yeah.
because somebody's gonna need to like tell the Army Corps that they're flooding the town.
Yeah.
If it backs up onto the ball fields.
Is there a time frame for this project?
Currently, we are still in permitting. I think the idea is for early next year, potentially. Yeah. So early spring, likely, of 2024.
Amanda, George, any further questions?
No.
Mr.
Nope.
Andrews, further questions?
I will
Oh,
make,
I'm all set.
I'll make a motion for a negative determination for this RDA.
I'll second that.
With conditions.
With conditions that the erosion control and silt sacks happen.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Andrews, how do you vote on a negative determination?
I vote yes.
Dave,
Yes,
Amanda,
Yes.
motion carries at.
Changed up the order.
52. There we go. So very good. So I will have to get Mr. Andrews' signature this week and then I will reach out to Audrey.
Okay. Yeah.
And Scott.
Yes,
Very good. And Audrey's dropping off the legal check, right?
already dropped in the office. Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you both.
Great. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Two.
Thank you, guys. Next one is, next on the agenda is updated plans submitted for RDA at 100 Stone Bridge Road. And I put no further impact to buffer zone. So this was a Stoddard one from last month. It was a septic replacement.
Okay.
And I'm just bringing this because I'm required to inform you that the plans changed from 30 feet long to 40, but it is no more in the buffer zone. It's just longer the other way.
Is the same size as the existing?
Mhm.
No, then it doesn't matter.
But,
Since it's exempt.
but any changes, we said any changes to the original plan, we asked him to bring it forth and thus.
Good.
Just doing the due diligence that, and it's already in. Anyway. So,
Okay, well,
oh, anyway. But just was required to tell you that, but it is no further in the buffer zone.
perfect.
Right.
I don't know if you thought about that.
Yeah,
You can
well, I think
change
he
it.
probably didn't want to refile, so he probably. But the health agent said that there was an additional bedroom, so they needed to make it longer, so made it longer the other way.
Good.
Any questions, George? You're welcome to look at that when I see you this week, but it's no.
I already looked at all, remember, I already looked at all that.
I remember you were here. All right.
No, there's no problems with that one.
what is this?
Okay, so next is agent updates.
Oh, this is
So first thing I want to update you all about is the Shore Drive dumpster. Mr. Andrews and I took a visit out to Shore Drive this past few weeks, and the association there wanted to move said location of dumpster. So if you look on your map, it's near that white car. You see it's kind of on the corner. They wanted to move it. Do you see it? It's the little gray thing in the white car. Yeah. So they wanted to move it in front of
Number 50.
50, yeah, number 50 Shore Drive, which is you can see it's 4-11. So
Okay,
you see where that driveway is?
yeah,
So Mr. Andrews and I went out and we measured from the dumpster location to the closest point of the wetlands, and it was over 100 feet.
perfect.
They also, which is helpful to us, they put a concrete pad down.
Ooh, lovely. Hey, how do you get on the association's like newsletter or
What?
informed of
I don't
these
know.
things?
Yeah, I know you second. Street. So that's good.
Yeah.
To
Awesome.
update you on that. However, there is a discussion that you should have regarding 46 Shore Drive, which we were informed that the resident there, that one is indicated on your map by 41110.
Okay, that's newer.
Who doesn't, if you can see by the map, doesn't own the frontage to the pond in front of their home,
Uh-huh.
has put rocks down in between said home and pond, has cut trees and installed a fence. So,
Where's the fence line? Like not on their property?
correct.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
So
Okay.
wanted to bring the complaints forth to see if there was any recourse or direction the Conservation Commission would like to go.
I have to recuse myself from this because I own a stake in this piece of property.
Very good. George, you remember going out there, right?
Yes, me and Dave went out there.
Yeah,
And
so
they were,
The one in question
There you-
is the property where the dumpster used to be.
That was
Right.
already deeded to the whole association.
and that had been there that dumpster had been there for years, but
And then they,
the other person wanted it moved.
This is the property that's
Right.
doing things they shouldn't.
right,
This is owned by the
that
association.
was never supposed to be sold to a private owner, but somebody forgot and sold it.
Yeah, so
So
now,
now it's causing issues.
so.
But-
I mean, I can help and assist you all, however you want to proceed forward. I mean, I can give you suggestions. We can write a
On the
letter.
exempt list,
We
since you
can-
have that.
Yeah, I do.
Fences, what does it say about? Is this a property dispute or is this something we can cover under wetlands? 'Cause, like,
Well,
Fences, because vista pruning's allowed.
yeah, true.
Adding gravel, I'm not sure if it's small enough to be considered a
The
path.
issue- Amanda,
Yes,
the issue was when me and Dave went down, they were building the shed in the wetlands area. And we asked them to move it to the other side of the land and they didn't do it. And they turned around where we asked them to move it. They filled that whole area from the driveway all the way down to the water with rock. And now they've got their chairs and their stuff like that out there so they can sit out there and look at the ocean, at the lake right there. In other words, they didn't get permission to put stone in there.
was it lawn before? So if it was lawn, then they could put a shed on it, apparently. Oh, if it's 50 feet from the high water line.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
prob-
there's a wetland
well, we
right
know
there
that
on the
sheds
side.
are part of the 50-foot exception. That's,
How close is the shed?
George, do you know how close the shed is?
What, to the wetland?
Yeah.
Well, it's about 12 feet away on, where they've got the shed now. And that tree line, there's a wetland that goes down further.
Now,
And
I
we
don't
had
know the
asked-
size of said shed, but some sheds per the building department don't need
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
if They're under. a
Now
certain
that's all gone.
Right, so we can't go through,
Correct,
well, we can do a wetland,
correct,
because it has to be at least 50.
correct.
And that, I don't think you can consider a, walkway. I think it's greater than 3 feet wide.
Correct. Again,
So, yes, I would contact DEP and have them help. Also, the neighborhood association should say something about.
the
property.
neighborhood association was the one that reported it.
The neighborhood association should include me on their emailing list, and B, that would have to go to land court. Like the road thing that was happening when the guy blocked the road,
Hmm,
same thing.
hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So,
So which
What if
house
you
did you buy?
oh, she did.
I own a property on Second Street.
I know you do.
Do we want a letter to the resident requesting a site walk? Do we want a letter to Mass DEP? Do we want enforcement? order? I'm just asking what I can help with, which is the first course of action. George, opinion?
Well, you know, it's done and over with, but should we make them at least file a petition with the building department for putting all that stone out there? That's my question.
I don't think the building department has jurisdiction regarding stone. I mean, the
Okay,
stone question is it
I-
on their property or is on
Which-
the association property? I
Which-
think the association contacted you all for helps because it was a wetland issue, because they were
Yeah.
putting rocks.
And
underneath the
supposedly
water.
there's an
And I said
association.
on near the water because I haven't seen it with my own eyes, because I haven't been.
So when we just did the one over by the school, if that guy was doing stuff on the other person's property, it's the other person that's on the hook for the wetland alterations on their property. So this would be the association on the hook for the wetland alterations on.
That they're not doing, that
That's
somebody
why
else
they
is
did-
doing. on
Somebody
their
else is
property.
doing it, it doesn't matter, it's their property. I'm pretty sure it's on the
Mm.
property owner. The shed, however, that's totally us.
I wonder if we can see the shed from the public Pinewood Shores parcel, right? If we take a site visit,
I think we need a site visit.
Yeah.
but we're not gonna be allowed on 46. So what if we go to Pine Shores and view from there? On a public. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So let's,
And I
Why
would
don't we- why
also
don't we-
just contact the circuit rider and tell her
Yep,
what's going
I can do
on
that
and
too.
ask for advice.
Yep.
Cause it's already there, like George said, it's already there,
Yep.
so.
so let's coordinate a site visit. And let's all go out and, or anybody who can, will go out and see from the area that we're allowed on. What's going on, and that way we can create a appropriate plan forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, George, on that? I have more stuff to talk about, but just make sure. Anything
No,
else?
not really. That's all we can do with it, you know?
Okay, all right.
You know, the association was,
No.
we don't know if they ever, association or ever okay it, that's all.
So the dumpster location moving was good, but.
Right.
Now there's something else.
Building on the wetlands is always bad.
I know. All right, so next thing I wrote was, MACC dues.
Yep.
MACC dues are $211. If you want to approve continuing being part of the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions, we would need a motion to approve the yearly dues. $211. It includes all three of you and myself and Lori.
Do we get any benefit from this?
You get like the book, and you get like free training sessions and all that stuff.
You go to any of those?
I go to them often, actually. I
then it's
really
worth
do.
it. I'll make a motion to pay for another year of MACC dues.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Dave,
Yes,
Amanda?
Yes.
Pass at 7:05. Wetlands Protection Account Balance, I just feel like I haven't updated you guys in a while. There's, over $58,000 in the Wetlands Protection Account Balance. As you know, this is to be used if you need a wetlands consultant for a big project coming up in town. There's plenty of funds in there.
a
If need-
wetland scientist or
an engineer, a land surveyor, whatever you need. That's all money that has been accrued from filing fees. Also in an agent update, there was discussion last week at the Community Preservation Committee meeting regarding the Otter River Pool on Crotty Ave, which is conservation land owned by the town. There was discussion of, if it's safe, does the Conservation Commission think that a sign should be put there of warning, danger, at your own risk, something, since it's a scary liability down there?
there was supposed to be a sign years ago
Okay.
put up by the, I think, Highway Department.
Okay.
I heard that they have issues with it frequently being stolen.
Said sign.
The signs,
Oh.
yes, yes. So
Well-
my recommendation was to spray paint something on the Jersey barriers they have out there. Harder to move those. They sell stencils that say danger.
Signs stolen.
Uh,
Well, I mean, it's up to the three of you. If you want anything done at all, you can obviously.
We had started
Is it-
creating a document that was a conservation plan for this property. It did not get very far, due to various, people's lives.
Yeah.
Busy and medical issues and stuff.
Well, at last week's meeting, one of the CPC members, presented the Conservation Land Management Plan for Otter River, which was very well received by CPC members, and, they requested, information be passed on to the Conservation Commission, which essentially, the plan would be to remove the dam as it is a safety issue and a liability for the town, and to allow the flow to go naturally since it's cold water and fisheries area. Regarding funding, the state provided the CPC member with information that if the town showed some skin in the game by getting a assessment or plan, that they would be more entitled to or more apt to approve projects that already have the assessment in place.
How much would an assessment like that cost?
So anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
That's not too bad.
So I'm telling you all that because there was a conservation fund created by the Community Preservation Committee in 2010, May of 2010, that allocated $15,000 to conservation use. And
Some of that was used for,
some of the money was used to hire the Conway School to draft open space and recreation plans.
Right.
Leaving a balance in the conservation fund for CPC of $8,000.
was any of the Elm Street Park? I can't remember the name of
What's
it now.
Elm Street Park?
The 5 Elm Street, the river
River's Edge.
That one,
Yeah,
any of that money from
No.
the conservation one? No,
No.
okay,
no, that was a separate CPC article.
okay.
So,
So we could use,
yeah, so
do we
The-
have to present something to the CPC?
you do not. They wanted to see if you would consider using some of those funds to get the final approval and, using some of the funds for an assessment to support efforts at this Otter River pool. The other thought, since some of the original money was used to hire, the Conway School to draft the open space plan. It's, the chair of CPC said, they pulled together a few, but local items remained that prevented it from getting fully approved. Perhaps some of the remaining conservation funds, could get the final approval and prepare for the next open space plan.
We need a new one.
Yeah, so there's two options, and I'm not sure if you have to pick one or the other, since I don't have definite numbers for you what things cost. What I think you could do, the three of you, is if you like any of those ideas, maybe the three of you could talk about a priority list, meaning we've got 8,000 left. The first thing we want to do is X, and the second thing with the remaining balance is Y.
Could
Whatever that.
either of these things, the new open space plan or the assessment for the Otter River pool, come out of the wetlands protection account balance?
I don't know the answer to that. I genuinely don't, but I can research that for you, Amanda, and I can get back to you. The article that has the 8 grand left in it is for the purpose of the acquisition of land and to take all other actions relating to, including without limitation, obtaining or preparing plans, surveys, studies, assessments, title reports, obtaining appraisals, conducting tests and studies, including environmental and feasibility studies, and all fees and costs arising from this. So that's what the original 5,000 was for. There's only 8,000 left. It's been sitting there for 13 years. There's many boards that would love to see this used for a great purpose. You absolutely don't need to make a decision tonight. You're welcome to if you guys have a strong opinion on what you think that could be used for. And I'd be happy to relay that to the CPC. Mr. Andrews is on the CPC, but he was unavailable last Thursday. So, I know.
Has Dave seen, I don't know if Dave has ever seen it.
Have you seen the
Management
conservation land
plan.
management plan for Otter River? Pretty extensive.
Yeah. My thoughts with that go way back.
Yeah, what do you know about the area?
While they wanted to drop the dam and let the water trickle.
Yeah.
Like, flow by itself.
Mhm.
And the town didn't want to, at the time, the town didn't want to be responsible for any happenings there.
Mm,
And they just wanted it left alone.
Yeah, now the dam is definitely a safety issue. I looked at the back of it and it's ready to, actually,
It's deteriorating.
you know what, with the water we've gotten, it's probably only gotten worse. It looks like it's ready to collapse.
Yeah.
Also, it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes because it's stagnant water and it's pretty grody out there. So it would be good to get that dam removed. This is probably going to be like a 5 to 10 year project between all of the steps that have to be taken. Yeah.
And right now, prices are 2 and 3 times the cost
Right.
of back then. It would have been a lot cheaper to
Yeah.
remove
Just
the
start
blocks.
it then.
You know,
Yeah.
it's eroding, the blocks are moving,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
I mean,
there,
what happens if it gives out versus it?
Well, it
it gets-
floods anything downstream.
if kids are
Versus-
playing around that,
Oh,
you're
Right.
talking, somebody could get,
And it's a liability for the town.
Yeah.
It's dangerous down there.
and this is what they wanted to eliminate.
Mr. Andrews, would you like to add to the
Huh?
conversation?
Huh?
Would you like to add to the conversation? regarding
the only
Otter River
problem is,
Pool,
the only problem is everybody needs to go over and look to see what DPW did to that pond, that dam out there that was originally there. They went and lowered it and took out 3 times as many things as they should have taken out. Okay, that person no longer works for DPW. They closed it, put a fence across it because people were going in there trashing the place with rubbish and cans. They tore down the tennis courts that were there while it wasn't, while it was there over a weekend, and they ruined the place out there. And that's why nothing has really ever been done about it again. And, it would have to be, looked at again and see what they want to do, really. It belongs, quote, it belongs to us.
correct, yes. So again, I say you don't have to make any action tonight. You're also welcome to make action. There is $8,000 in there that the CPC wanted me to bring forth to you to see if you had any thoughts to support any uses for
Yeah,
that
I know
money.
what you're saying.
The open space plan or
Honestly,
assessment of Otter
the
River Pool,
way
anything.
the article was written, I don't know that that money can be or should have been used for an open space plan. Because it specifically says
Well,
for
it's for,
buying property and
Yes.
things related to
Yeah.
that. But
you're assessing, when
the
you're doing the
Otter
open
River
space
Pool
plan, you can
assessment.
assess to see if there's any lands to purchase.
sure,
Yeah.
really, Lucy, reason, but the Otter
Well-
River assessment might be a good use for that.
That's the trouble with not having the open space committee, because they're the ones who are really in charge of it. And like everything else, nobody wants to be on the committees anymore.
Right.
But I think that should basically send any money over this. It should be up to CPC, not us. If they
Well,
want to transfer money and do
The
stuff like
But the
that.
article says that you do need to bless whatever they propose. So would it be helpful to the 3 of you if I asked them for a proposal, like for a quote, like if they could get a,
Price?
yeah. So that way you
Yeah,
knew how
probably would.
of the 8,000 would go to said assessment.
Honestly, I didn't even know the money existed, so
Yeah, I mean,
really
and it's
care.
been there for, it's been
as
there
long
for
as we
13
use it for
years.
something that benefits the town.
Correct.
You know,
I'm good. I don't need a quote before we say, yes, use it.
It's up to the 3 of you.
What do you think, George? Can they use the money for something that is conservation related?
Now, just whereas, we had paperwork for that in the drawers for that piece of land. Would it be possible to pull that piece of paper out, quote, if you can find it, and see what they wanted to do with it originally?
I have the new conservation land management plan for Otter River Pool for 2024 to 2034. I don't have the original. Are you talking about the original plan, open space
Like the-
plan?
Title?
Or are you talking about the parcel?
No, what I was talking about was when Mrs. Stone signed it over to Concom.
Yes,
I believe that was the Stone residence,
yes.
and it would be listed under her. But I'm not positive. I've forgotten how long ago. Not so long since I've seen it. I know I saw it when we used to be in Otter River, but then a lot of that paperwork got ruined with mold. So I don't know how much of it got thrown away.
The Stone Trust gave it to us for continued usage as it is or passive recreation. Correct. I looked at the deed.
Yep. Yeah, the deed
Yeah.
is in.
Yeah.
Attached it. Yeah, so the deed's included in the conservation land management plan for the Otter River Pool, and it was conveyed to the town of Templeton with conservation use or conservation oversight. Yeah.
So whichever you guys decide, we can, either try to spend some money or not. That's up to CPC, you know, if they have money, if they want us to use it to do that. It's up to them. By the way, I was at your meeting last week, but and for CPC, but I didn't get one in the mail. I had to go into the regular one. So I saw the whole meeting.
Oh, very good.
Dave, any opinion on what we should do with that $8,000?
I think we should make a motion to think about it.
We don't need to make.
You don't need to
We
make a
could
motion
just,
to think about it.
we're gonna hold off on any decisions, and
Perfect.
Okay,
it'd be great if we had more people in the town that came to conservation commission meetings and could put input in. So we
Yeah.
can know what the town actually wants. And also I'm leaving, so it's that.
Very good. So if I can report back to CPC, you guys will discuss at next meeting use. You can think about it some more.
Yes.
Very good. Very good, George.
yes, that's fine. Thank you for doing the meeting for me.
Welcome. So next topic is to reorganize the commission, to assign a chair. And to also assign the CPC seat. Currently, Mr. Andrews has both of them. Would anybody like to make a motion for the chair, to be the chair for Concom? What are you looking at me for? I mean,
This is my last meeting, so it's not gonna be me. You two duke it out.
I'll make a motion, George, be chair.
Mr. Andrews, do you accept that nomination?
I will accept.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. How do you vote, Dave?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Yay, George is still chair. Do we have a motion for someone to be the representative of Concom to the CPC?
You wanna do it, Dave?
Nope.
So if you don't want to do it, you got a motion, George.
George doesn't wanna do it either. Hey, Logan, you wanna join Concom?
You can make a motion too.
I'll make a motion that George sit in the CPC seat.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Dave, how do you vote?
Aye.
Amanda?
Aye.
George?
What if I don't vote?
It still passes. It's majority.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Technically, he should abstain because it's him anyways.
And George is the CPC seat.
Yay.
Open seat discussion. Amanda?
I am moving to Michigan, so I can no longer be on the Conservation Commission.
That's for
I
Amanda.
think this is for my resignation.
So Amanda will be resigning for from the Conservation Commission, and we will, we appreciate all of your time that you've served, and we really wish you the best, but we are going to miss you. This will be effective as of August 1st. So we will still have you with us in order to close out some things.
Crying?
Listen. The open seat discussion is, we absolutely need more conservation members. This board is a 5-person board. There will be 3 open seats. You could speak to Dave, or you could speak to Amanda or George, that as the conservation agent, I do as much as I possibly can to support this board so that they have as little to do. Being volunteers, I appreciate everything that you do and the site walks that you do in this meeting that you come to once a month. So, you know, it's a public appeal to please join the Conservation Commission if you are interested in the environment and concerned about the wetlands. You don't need any formal training. There's trainings that you can take that MACC provides.
You
Um,
can
as
learn how to
well
do
as-
wetland delineations and actually like
Yep.
make bank doing them in other towns.
You can learn a lot from Dave and George and myself. And really just appeal to the public that if you have any interest in joining the Conservation Commission, please see me in the Development Services Office for a committee interest form, or you can see the Select Board Office for a committee interest form as well. With that, it should be noted that we will still have a quorum with 2 people. I confirmed with town council that based off of, since the Conservation Commission is not in the town bylaws, it goes to the Wetlands Protection Act, which says a quorum is defined by the majority of the members then in office. So with 2 members, we will have a quorum. If the 2 members at all tie, a tie is considered a denial, and denials are only appealable to Mass DEP. So we don't want that to happen for very long. Again, Matt, I thank you so much for your time and all the things that you've taught me, and we're really gonna miss you, but we're really happy for, this next chapter in your life. And we hope that, somebody in town will be interested in joining this board and, know that they have a lot of support, and, it doesn't have to be this like scary thing. It's, once a meeting month and a few site walks, and I try to take all the legwork out of it. As you can see. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, just that, it doesn't really take that much time, like one Monday a month. You come, you look at plans, you see if they're impacting wetlands, you take complaints and go look at what crazy things people are doing in town. There is like one law you need to know, the Wetland Protection Act, so it's not all of the town bylaws and all of the state of Massachusetts general laws. It's fairly simple to learn. And the wetlands in town are pretty obvious. There's usually a pretty clear cut delineation, so it's not hard to learn that either. So somebody could pick it up.
George, anything to add?
Oh, I'm all set. It's too bad. But I just hope we can get people.
So if you have anybody in mind, to send them. Yeah. Logan ain't looking at you.
Gonna write it into the lease, Logan.
Any chair or member comments at this time? Mr. Andrews?
No chairs, nothing to say.
No, you'll visit me this
see.
week for your signature.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Thank
Dave,
you.
any comments?
No comments.
Amanda, any comments?
No.
Next meeting is August 21st, 2023 at 6:30 PM. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Seconded.
Hearing no discussion. All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Hi.
George?